one.
I don't care if you're under quarantine all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the. I guess I'm in the stack. Yes.
You're still in the stack.
Somebody out there with that dang shit. On my left, virtually, is Blue.
Sorry, guys. What? Oh man, this quarantine's got me going crazy.
Oh my god. on my virtual right is Stitch.
I guess I'm virtually 40 miles to the east.
Yeah.
Engineering on the ones and twos, chokes people on the threes and fours, Kronos.
What's going on? We're gonna have the Corona fever now instead of cabin fever. It's gonna happen.
Last but not least, we got the oldest ninja in the world, Old Ninja. Can we hear him?
The entities that we pay, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's good to know that the entities that we pay during a crisis still want our money.
Ain't that...
Kronos, why are we all remote?
Yeah, because this is distancing, social distancing, and there's another story about we were gonna actually have people over, but my daughter got sick, so I'll talk about it in a little bit. So that's obviously you don't want to have somebody over if you have sick kids, especially in this crazy ass climate. But we'll get into that. First, let's talk about the listener of the week. That would be my boy Aiden. Thank you very much for listening a whole bunch of times. And then first in chat would be my boy Jason from high school. So it's good to see him back in the live chat.
Excellent. Good stuff, man. The show must go on, even when it's a Wednesday night and Alameda County is telling us to stay home. But Old Ninja, are there any RIPs that we're pouring out some type of malt beverage for?
Other than the 88,000 people who died from the coronavirus.
Yeah. I mean, there was Kathy Griffin's mother. She died. I didn't know that her mom was an actress. I had her name written down. Hold on.
Mattress actress or just an actress?
No, she's just an actress. I mean, you never know. Back then, she had to pay them bills. You don't. Yeah, she don't know what she had to do. But
hey, them gilfs still do it though.
You still do it.
Hey, you got to pay that rent.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else, Old Ninja?
Oh, that one too.
Nicholas Tucci, right? That one is that from last week or?
That's from last week. No. There's another one.
We haven't been updating shit.
Yeah, because we've been on lock. But yeah, hang on.
On lockdown.
Keep it going. I'll get the name for you in just a second.
All right. So who wants to break down this, what lockdown really means while Old Ninja's looking that up?
Well, from my understanding, pretty much, we kind of touched on it yesterday, but in terms of flattening the curve for the medical professionals and industry, social distancing was damn near mandated, at least here in the state of California. One of the really cool things about, I guess, living here is that they're trying to get out in front of this and being a little bit more proactive than the federal government and a lot of other states. They realize that there are a lot of cases out here. So they were just like, we're going to shut everything down. There's no school. There's no going to bars or restaurants unless it's takeout. And they put pretty much like 7 counties right off the bat just pretty much in shelter in place, meaning you can't go anywhere except pretty much the gas station, pharmacy, grocery store, or places if it's like an emergency. There's no like real like social hanging out because they want to do everything in this area to reduce the strain on the medical community.
Yeah. And then also, like, there's some facilities that are open during this time, like, grocery stores, hardware stores, hospitals, anything that's considered an essential. What's the word I'm looking for?
Essential.
Yeah, one of those places. So, like, hardware stores are open. But yeah, I mean, it's really crazy right now. Like, if you do go out, you are allowed to leave your house. Like, if you want to go to a park and go for a walk. So it isn't like we're all just staying inside the house the whole fucking time. Like, you're able to get out and about and get some fucking air. But it's crazy. It's only been 2 days, but man, I've already done some crazy things.
I
I haven't
mean,
spent this much uninterrupted time with my family ever. And
ever.
uh, Blue, I think, put out or somebody put out on online this
What else?
say that your kids are your coworkers and try to explain how you hate or what you had to do with your coworkers is the say, man, I tell you what, like I'm sharing an office with Mishka. I'm teaching kindergarten, I'm teaching fourth grade, and I'm working full time. And
I want to know how those lesson plans are going.
oh my god, it's impossible. It's impossible. Like you can do a little bit of iPad time, and then you know you need to fix lunch. You need to ensure that kids are being taken care of. It's a true disruption, and then there are still some people, employers. I'm not saying mine specifically, but there are a lot of people who have employers who expect the same level of productivity when you've been in the house for
Yeah.
5 6 straight days and you're also looking after kids. Kronos obviously can relate as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, me and K-Mac, we have to like basically trade off. Like we're doing like half days,
Yep.
unless something comes in for her, something busy. I mean, because she's working, trying to do the whole time. But then we'll trade like who's active or whatever. So it's been interesting. So like today, for instance, I got up at like I started work at like 7 in the morning like I normally do, and then at noon I was just like, all right, I got to take off because somebody's got K-Mac's got to finish up her work, and then I can take off the rest of the day. So we're just switching off back and forth on who does what. So, and yeah, and we still have to do her lesson plans and stuff like that because we picked up a month's worth of work, basically a month's work of schoolwork from her school. So we have to make sure she's doing all the paperwork. It's just like it's a huge burden on a lot of families, and I think that people are seeing it now and they're kind of taking it more seriously, and they don't. At first, we were told not to take this too seriously. Like, our head guy kept saying, it's no big deal, no big deal. Shit, even for me, for a minute, I was saying wasn't a big deal until I saw the numbers, and they kept going up. It's like we have over 150 people have died now, in just America, and we had almost 3,000 cases today alone. Actually, it's probably even more than that, 3,000 today alone, which is pretty crazy.
One thing we didn't really touch on is that the reason why we are, so if anybody's listening to this podcast right now, like not listening to it live, you probably don't know what the hell's going on. So right now, all of us are quarantined in our own homes. So every one of the cast members are in each individual's houses right now, and so the audio quality isn't going to be that great, but we're still trying to be here for you guys and just keep bringing you this dankness, even though it's quarantine.
I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and I can tell that sort of helps relax me, and I'm sure it does the same therapy for a lot of other people out there. So we keep trying to bring you guys your listening product while you guys are stuck in your homes and give you some sense of entertainment to let your mind escape from all this constant coronavirus news.
Yeah, well,
here's what I want to say. Oh, go.
No, go ahead, man. You're good.
I was gonna say, we're glad everybody's listening. We appreciate y'all, but I need this for me, goddammit.
Yeah, like, for real.
I need to interact with y'all, because otherwise, holy shit, it's just me and my family in here for days on end. Help me, goddammit.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of the truth is coming out. I mean, I saw a meme that said, when your teacher tells you, some of y'all are gonna basically find out that your kid's bad behavior is really real. You're going to find out real quick, spending all this time with them, that they weren't lying when they said, little Tommy was biting and kicking and screaming and having fits. And you're like, they don't do that at home. And then all of a sudden they're doing it at home. What you gonna do?
Well, it's funny, like some of the memes that people are posting are fucking hilarious. Like I think, like I've noticed on Facebook, the meme, like at least on Facebook alone, like the stuff people are posting, it seems more common and it seems more frequent than normal. But the shit's fucking hilarious. Like, I think people are just trying to socialize in a form of communication that they can. I think Facebook is definitely that avenue for that.
Well, it's kind of funny, speaking of Facebook and this whole thing, it's
Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, Facebook had a huge issue the other day where they kept flagging everything for everything, so posts are getting pulled down. And the problem is that Facebook had a bunch of people work from home, or just like kind of. I think they basically had the people that normally do the filtering. I think they just fired them or furloughed them or something. So they put it in the hands of AI, and then that's why everybody's like, I think it was yesterday, or the day before yesterday, Facebook was flagging all these posts, anything coronavirus, or anything else. It was just getting flagged and kicked as spam.
And these were from like legitimate news things too.
Yeah,
that was what was so disturbing.
Yeah, the AI was just like, humans in danger, take everything down.
Yeah. Or maybe it was the Matrix trying to, or the Terminator, or what was it, Skynet trying to keep the information down.
So,
holy shit, man.
I guess I'll get into specifically why we're doing this remotely, because we actually were planning on having a normal live stream today. But what happened was that on Monday morning, my youngest daughter got a fever. And what happened here? There we go. And when she got a fever, I was like, that's one of the symptoms, so we have to take her in to the clinic and see what's going on. And she was feeling pretty sick. She had a 103 temperature, so I mean that's pretty high. So we took her in, and immediately we walked through the front door, and everything's like kind of quarantined off. So if you have a fever, a cough, or respiratory issues, like immediately they give you like a phone number to call. You go back to your car, you drive around to the back of the building, and then you wait in your car and call them, and then wait for somebody to come out and get you. So they make you quarantine yourself, and then
did you give them like your license plate number or something, or do they just like scream out your name or something?
Yeah, you tell them the make and model of your car, and
okay.
they come find you. It took like I think they forgot about me because it took like an hour and 15 minutes, and I called them. I was like, hey, I'm still out here waiting, and so they finally came out, and they checked out little Riley, and the thing that got me is that I was like, maybe it could be the coronavirus. I don't know. The only reason why I was really concerned is that I live with a person that's at risk of this, and also she was being watched by her grandparents who are at risk as well. So but they wouldn't do the coronavirus test on her because she is not at risk, and he told us that they only have so many tests that they have, and they're really limited on their testing capabilities. So unless somebody directly is at risk, then they won't even test. So I was just like, I knew that was true, but like to see it like with my own eyes that they really don't have enough tests out there. But we have people on TV that are telling us that there's plenty of tests, and anybody that wants to get tested can get tested. That's total fucking bullshit. And,
well, I know from reliable sources that a lot of the hospitals don't have a lot of the testing kits that they need, even though number 45 said that they have over 10,000 kits that they're going to be delivering. But
even 10,000 in a population of 335 million, that's not even a fucking percent.
That ain't shit.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
Yeah, I mean it's
a grain of fucking sugar in a bowl of water.
Yeah, it's insane to me. They can sit there and lie about that on national TV and then wonder why people are freaking the fuck out.
Exactly.
Yeah. And just for some global context, really quickly, because obviously your story, Kronos, is super personal, and we're all glad that your daughter is okay. But this is something that's much bigger than just the Northern California area. Italy is on super lockdown. Several other Western European countries are on super lockdown. It's still not completely over with in China and several other places. This is all over the goddamn planet, and having different people or different agencies with different types of responses are producing mixed results. Some better than others.
Yeah.
Seems like South Korea kind of has its act together in terms of testing and whatnot. Seems like America does not. And what's really both disheartening and sometimes inspiring is just on some level, it's just people being, obviously sick, and sometimes people are coming together and showing some compassion and love for their fellow human being. And other times you're having disgusting displays of xenophobic bullshit and racist bullshit. But here we are.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
On the news, they had showed a bunch of people partying in Florida, like hanging out at the beaches and stuff. And it's like, dude, don't you understand? Like,
oh god,
the epidemic that we're facing right now. Like, it's something you can't fucking play around with. Even though you might be kind of
it's Florida
for it, like you might have an effect on. Yeah, it's definitely Florida. But yeah, if you low risk, like you still having an impact on other people's lives. So you know you got to take that shit serious.
Well, people don't
Even
understand,
though
like
flights are cheap as fuck.
the young people that are going to spring break in Florida, they don't understand that the most of our elderly population are in Florida. You know, it's like that's where most of them go to retire, and for people to
Golden
be that
Girls.
that flippant about their health, like yeah, you're probably going to be okay, but the mortality rate with seniors is fucking extremely high. At a certain level, it's above 15%. Like that's
Yeah,
fucking insanely
Yeah,
high.
that's scary.
it's crazy.
What about Martha?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, I know we try not to get overly political on this show, but holy fuck, man. I don't think they're even the hardcore folks. I don't think anybody's happy and pleased with how America's doing right now.
No, I mean there's
There's just
You're
no
doing a
way.
disservice for about what's going on by not talking about like the failure in leadership from the federal government. If we're
Yep.
talking about everything that's going on, then obviously uh, it would help the situation if we were out ahead of it, we were prepared, but nothing we have done on a federal level has even shown that we were prepared or even like acknowledging that this was actually going on. Like if we're just being frank about it.
Yeah, I mean, all the steps. This is what has really come to mind during this whole thing is that during this whole time, the federal government has been pretty much fucking worthless. I mean, every single mandate that has come
Yep.
down that made any sort of difference has come down from local governments or corporations, private corporations that are deciding to do the right thing. And what I mean by that is,
Yeah.
here in California, having certain counties that are, high population densities, doing this whole lockdown thing, that was, probably a good move. It is a good move. Trying to get more testing kits out here, shit like that. We have Amazon that is only shipping essential items only. Like you can't buy consumer electronics right now from Amazon. It's not going to ship. You can buy it, but it's not going to ship. That affected my Final Fantasy VII purchase. But I'm like, whatever, it's fine. Uh, the game wasn't
You
going to come out
need
anyway.
it.
Yeah, it was too good. So, but I mean, all these people are stepping up to do the right thing, and the government's thing was, oh, we're just going to toss 1.5 trillion dollars immediately into the stock market, and that got eaten up in 15 fucking minutes. I mean,
Yep.
now they're trying to do some more things. Oh, all of a sudden, universal basic income is a big deal, and they're like, oh my god, like we need to do that now. And it's like, oh, imagine that we had a guy that was talking about it earlier this year, actually earlier last year.
Or how, or just to piggyback on that,
That's socialism.
nobody, yeah, exactly. Nobody wants to call that socialism, but it is what it is. It's literally a government handout, which I don't have a problem with. Never did. But that big, ugly, scary word of socialism was literally still being used as this pejorative term, you know, uh, throughout this election year. So things are topsy fucking turvy right now, man.
Well,
All the way around.
what's funny to me is that people that talk about the socialism thing or the getting UBI out there is that now all of a sudden nobody on certain sides of the aisle, on both sides actually, nobody gives a shit where the money's coming from anymore. The main thing that I liked about Andrew Yang, I'll drop his name by name because he's the guy who championed it for his presidential run which he ended. But he actually had a plan on how to pay for it. I haven't heard a single politician talk about how they're going to pay for it. They're we're just going to, we'll deal with it later. But it's like, no, you need to have a plan now. Like you have time right now to make up an actual plan to pay for it and get the cash in people's hands that they're going to need. But instead, they're just going to start writing checks that we can't really cash right now. We're just going to print up more money.
Even with that being the case, because money is not flowing and we are already seeing people losing their jobs, businesses not able to cover things, you still need other safety nets in addition to that to keep people in their homes, not out on the street.
Yeah.
Because times are going to be extremely hard. As I mentioned this last week, when money's not exchanging hands in the economy, 70+% is consumer spending.
Yeah.
Well, like
From
another
our economy overall, with service
since you brought that up,
sector and
like,
goods and whatnot.
one of the things I'm not understanding. So like a lot of companies like PG&E, cell phone bills, like utility companies are like waiving people making late payments and stuff like that. But it's like once everything is normal again, you know what they're gonna want? They're gonna want their fucking money.
Yeah.
And so you
with
might owe
interest.
$200 now, but in 3 months you're gonna owe $800.
Well,
Something
no,
like
what the
that.
thing is that there's going to be no interest on it, but it's still a big like if you don't pay any bill for fucking 3 months, you know, it's like most people are not, especially
And
when
if
you have
you're
no
not working,
income.
you're not gonna have money to pay for that.
Exactly, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So
Everyone's going to be underwater for a while.
well, they're trying to come up with
Yes.
plans to basically have forgiveness on all of it. It's basically what forgiveness means is that it's going to be on the taxpayer. It's still we're still going to pay for it, but it's going to be through taxpayer dollars. So basically, what they do is
Yeah.
like if they say, hey, you know, you're not going to pay rent for X number of months, then it's going to be a government program that's going to pay that difference. So it's going to get paid to those companies. It just won't be directly through the individual per se.
Yeah. And I mean, the alternative is literally millions of Americans being out on the street.
Yeah, but
Riots in streets.
But for me, the thing is like if we would have had certain things in place earlier, like if we would have talked, like we actually did things proactively, which it seems like the only thing we do proactive here in this country is invest in the military. Everything else is not proactive at all, or it's like the bare fucking minimum. So I think hopefully this is gonna be a wake up call to for most of America and the federal government to be like, hey, listen, we need to actually invest in proactive measures into
You
people.
paused out for. Did you pause out for anybody else?
Yeah,
Did you pause?
Oh
You
shit, I
pause
did.
for a second.
Yeah, I didn't hear full of it.
Damn, I was mid rant. All right. So what I'm saying is that I would hope that this whole scenario will show the American people and the federal government that we need to stop investing so much in the military and then actually start investing in people and so we have proactive measures to actually safeguard our country other than just build more bombs and and more guns and shit like that. I mean, that stuff's important, but let's be honest, we're on top as a military power. We need to invest money back into things that are going to actually improve Americans' lives, and we haven't done that for a very long time. And I hope that after this all said and done, we'll do that.
Yeah.
But we probably won't.
To be honest with you, too. Oh, go ahead. Flo.
No, I was saying I also heard that like schools might be canceled for like the rest of the year until like pretty much the end of summer, which is kind of fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I have a
Especially,
question
I feel
about
bad for like kids that are like graduating, like they're not gonna have fucking ceremonies or like there's not gonna be any dances or anything going on.
I can
It's
kind of
fucking
speak on that
Well-
a little bit.
Go for it.
Go ahead, Stitch. What are you gonna say?
Well, okay, for my question, I mean, Prodigy, you got kids in like public school right now, so I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, this whole like prom thing and whatever, but it's like, how do you adjust? Like, all right, if you're a senior in high school and in theory you were supposed to go off to this university in the fall, how does that now work if class is completely done till the fall? Like, do you graduate? What do you need to do to show that you've officially graduated? And then like, does everything just get pushed back and now colleges will start in what, like January, like or winter semester or something?
Yeah, we're going to restructure
I'm
a lot of
confused
shit.
on that.
Yeah, so my oldest daughter. Oh, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say we're in brand new territory in a lot of ways. Some of this is to be determined, at least from a California standpoint.
Yeah, well, hold on.
And the Hayward Unified School District, I'm staying abreast of it, but I haven't seen anything definitive, at least for my local school district, on exactly when school is going to be back in session and how it's going to work out.
Yeah. Oh, no, get in here.
So from what I know, because my mom's a teacher, so all like teaching and gatherings or whatnot are suspended for at least a month. So they're waiting to hear in Sacramento if they're gonna completely close until the fall or reopen. Right now, it looks as if they're not going to reopen until possibly September or later. On the high school side, a lot of the kids are they're doing their stuff online. So they're doing their homework and whatnot. They're getting their, like, what we're doing now with teachers, with some of the teachers. Friend of mine, his daughter is a senior in high school. So they're doing their stuff online, but she's supposed to graduate in May, I believe. So right now, they don't have anything in place. So they're not going to walk. They're not, like, they're just doing their assignments, and they don't know how they're going to do the diplomas or whatnot. So what they're talking about, they're just going to mail it to them for now. They don't know what they're going to do for a ceremony. Imagine if you're a high school kid, your milestone is graduating high school, and you don't even get that.
Yeah, my oldest daughter graduates this year, and Yeah, it's been a shit show. I mean, when they first announced this, I was hoping that, well, I wasn't hoping. I needed her to be around. Hey, it's your new dog.
Yeah.
I needed her to be around people, right? Because she's gonna have like a lot of time off, and she was getting kind of lonely. So I told her, hey, let's just we'll fly you out for like the whole time. She's supposed to be here for spring break. I talked to her mom. I was like, if it's okay with both of you, like just fly her out here. That way she'll be around somebody because I'm always at home. I work from home like normally. So she wanted to split the time. She wanted to do half her time there and half her time here. She wanted to do the first half there in Michigan, and finish up her sculpting and which obviously you can't. She can sculpt here, but you can't transfer that kind of thing like back and forth on a plane like that. So it's like, all right, it's fine, but just know that, it's a possibility that if you do the first half there, like I might not be able to fly you out here. You know what I mean? Because they might shut the airports down, and sure enough, like they might shut the airports down. So I haven't bought a ticket yet because I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, and like for me, like my birthday's coming up in April, and the Sweetness and I were going to go to Hawaii for my birthday, but it's like I don't know if I'll be able to come back. But then also like tickets are hella cheap.
Oh yeah, tickets were so like round trip to Michigan right now. It was like $78. I was like, holy shit.
That's crazy. Especially I was also thinking some people. Oh, that.
I of course was. We were just really quickly. We were trying to. We got press passes to WonderCon.
Oh yeah,
and
I was like, I didn't necessarily feel like doing the drive down. I was like, I got a little bit of a little bit of money, and so ahead of time I was like, let me just see what Southwest has. This was like 2 weeks ago or whatever. So I was like, oh, they got pretty cheap flights, and I was gonna, I booked it. I didn't book hotel quite yet, but I'm out. I just got to eat that probably. I'm going to call them and try to see what I can work out. But a lot of events, March and April, May, and we'll get into more of this later. They're all shut down, not just the schools, obviously. Anything that's non-essential is SOL.
Yeah, I was hearing things about like imagine having like a funeral that happens to come up and something like one of your loved ones is like. What do you do? Like I understand like weddings you can like push back and reschedule and with all the vendors and everything, but if you got a funeral that happens for like a loved one, you're kind of fucked.
So I'm glad you brought that up, Stitch. Actually, last week I had a cousin that passed away, and because of the whole coronavirus shutdown thing, like we can't schedule a funeral yet until everything is clear because we can't be in social gatherings and all that information and all that stuff. So like right now the funeral home basically has the body on ice until we can actually perform the service. Either we'll be able to perform the service, but we might have to have a casket with no body in it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
I'm here. I mean, did y'all talk about Italy and what's going on over there with this whole virus stuff?
Briefly, but go ahead.
Briefly, but did y'all hear about? There's a guy, his sister passed. And because of the rate that they're just letting people die, he had to sit in his home with his sister's body for 3 days.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, because I guess he's infected. Like I think the guy has the coronavirus, and they won't come to his house to pick up his sister, even though she's been dead for like maybe about a week now.
Yeah, but
Jesus Christ,
they're just and like Italy's like death rate is climbing almost exponentially by day.
Well, I know right now, like 7% of their population have died from the coronavirus.
Yeah, we're actually. That much, but, yeah. Well, I mean, actually, I had to click on myself. That's what it is. All right. So the scary part is that our numbers are actually tracking Italy's numbers. Like, actually, we're slightly ahead of them. Like, if you look at like the day by day numbers, that's fucking scary as shit. I mean, they had like 400 some people die in a single fucking day in Italy. That's insane. And then people are saying,
that's a country.
Go ahead.
Country with, it's a country that doesn't have like a third world healthcare system,
No.
How many people do live in
stable
Italy?
Economy.
Ooh, that's a good question.
It's obviously it's way less than us. So for
ours
could be
I was trying
like
to figure
way
out what
worse.
Percentage that would be.
Yeah. It's I know
obviously like 400 people for them it seems like it would be a lot higher percentage.
Well, they've had almost 3,000 deaths They've had almost 3,000 deaths
So
just in Italy.
60 million. 60
Yeah,
million
Jesus.
people in Italy.
Yeah, and 35,000
Yeah,
of
in
them are
America,
infected.
So like two California,
327 million.
almost two California.
Almost.
That's crazy.
I'm also going to tell you guys, this is
But-
Captain Obvious here. Another thing that doesn't fucking help is Trump talking about and doubling down over and over again,
Yeah.
calling this the China virus.
Oh, the
Holy
Chinese
fucking
virus.
Yeah, he's
Chinese
calling it
virus.
Chinese virus. Yeah.
Holy shit, man. People have, like, some reporters have actually, and I watch these press conferences, these reporters are talking about, hey, your own CDC says to not call it that. It stokes a lot of fear against Asian Americans who have nothing to do with this whatsoever. And he's just like, nah, fuck it. I don't take any responsibility. I'm going to call it the Chinese virus no matter what.
That because it comes from
Fucking
there.
ridiculous.
What in the shit, man?
Yeah, and he also didn't have a problem. He also didn't have a problem with somebody calling the
You're
Kung
still
flu.
calling it Chinese.
Yeah.
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 Well, like there was also a reporter who had asked him like, "How do you feel about somebody in your organization and calling it the Kung Flu virus?"
Oh, yeah, that's
Like,
right.
dude, really? Like, like they were saying like, "Is this racist or not?" And he's like, "Oh no, it came from China." Like he didn't have a problem with it being called the Kung Fu virus, which is fucking. That's probably super fucking racist.
Yeah, and the thing is that people in America, like Chinese, Asian Americans, not even just Chinese people, because racists are racist. They can't differentiate somebody Chinese from somebody Korean. They're just Asian to them. So
Exactly.
yeah, and people are getting like assaulted and verbally and physically assaulted by people like all the time, and it's just like it seems our president is validating that it's okay, this type of behavior. By being so flippant about calling it the China virus, and the way he says it is fucking super racist too. I can't.
Yep.
I'm done with this fucking dude. Like he doesn't give a shit about people. He doesn't give a shit about people.
I'll take.
No.
We were all adults.
He's a dog
when
whistling
9/11
racist.
Oh, I was going to say we were all adults when 9/11 happened.
Yes.
And one of the most disappointing things, we grew up in like southern Alameda County, for the most part, in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
One of the most disappointing things, again, ignorant fucks, started attacking Sikhs who aren't Muslim around here, and I'm sure all over the country, and of course, anti-Muslim and Arab backlash was certainly real in those years right after 9/11. But we didn't, no lessons learned, and at least for his sake, at least George W. Bush at that time wasn't going on national television over and over again, like stoking it or encouraging it. Now you have a president doing this.
Yeah, and
I was
go ahead.
I was living in North Jersey, about 40 miles from New York City. Like I could literally drive 2 minutes down my road and I could see the New York skyline for New York and 9/11 and everything. At the time, I was an EMT first responder in North Jersey. My dad was actually on a plane for 9/11 going to France and everything. And I remember like that whole area was just like sketchy about anybody who looked brown, Middle Eastern, or from somewhere over from Iraq, Iran. They didn't care. Like how Kronos was saying, how people didn't really care about the difference between if you're Filipino, Chinese, Korean. People were like that about whether you were from Israel, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Afghanistan. People out there were grouping everyone of brown color that wasn't quote unquote black or looked Middle Eastern as potentially terrorists. And like people were just like freaking out, especially even if you would get onto a plane and you just happen to be, you would see stories about it all the time on like MySpace which was popular back then, about people who, I was sitting next to a guy who looked like he was a terrorist. I was gonna fuck him up, blah blah blah. If he had stood up and started saying some shit like that, it's just like it's amplified and it's worse now. But like Prodigy said, that's sort of like the root for where this xenophobia started to come from.
Yeah, well said, man.
What? It's funny, like even during that time, like I had friends who were Middle Eastern, and they had talked about how like they were on an airplane, and I guess the girl was doing something, and like some white lady was like, hey, what are you doing? Like, I want you off the plane. Like, she was being like super racist, and these girls were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm an American citizen. I've lived in America all my life. Like, there's no reason I should be treated that way just because somebody in a different area decided to attack America. Like, all people aren't that way, and it's ridiculous how fast people can kind of change their point of view when something bad is happening.
I I don't honestly think some of these people who are blatantly racist really changed all that much. They just felt like they had the ability to verbalize and vocalize it more aggressively and assertively. And again, we are seeing ugly ass attacks already. I follow George Takei from Star Trek, the first Star Trek series, like on Twitter and whatnot. I mean, he'll tell you all about it, you know. And he is someone who is a survivor of the Japanese World War II internment when he was a child, and so it's disturbing. It's disgusting. Fuck anybody trying to do it, and there's a lot of people defending it as well. So shut them all down.
Yeah.
Man.
Prodigy, is that a blunt in your hand, or what is that?
No, this is actually a Ninja Turtle plastic bow from Donatello.
I don't know, dude. I thought you were fucking blazing up. I was gonna join you.
Yeah, I thought you were about to start up.
I do want to say before we switch topics, I do want to say that for those of you that are in areas where your grocery stores are like affected, you sort of kind of have to think outside the box. Like for us, like our major supermarkets are like Target, Safeway, Walmart, Lucky's, etc., Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. But check out some of your like local like Mexican markets or your Asian like grocery stores. If you're not like find like anything and tired of looking at bare shelves, sometimes you got to think outside the box. Like you might have to maybe travel a little bit outside of your comfort zone. But yeah, check out your like local grocery Asian Mexican markets or whatever, and they might have some of the stuff that a lot of people are overlooking because you sort of have to think outside of the herd because everyone's going to go to your Walmart, Target because they need or Costco to go get toilet paper towels and everything. So you got to sort of have to think outside the box a little bit, and that'll help you get some stuff. Today, that was Lilo or whatever. Thank God she's or whatever. Yeah, she's she doesn't have the nipple out while she's breastfeeding. Thank God. But like I had to travel maybe like 20 minutes because I knew a good spot, Nob Hill Grocery out in like San Ramon. And I was able to get a lot of ground beef there because I was there shopping, and the manager asked me if I needed anything. I was like, "Oh, I'm good." And he told me, he's like, "Yeah, we're getting meat in tomorrow." And so I was like, "All right, thank you. I appreciate you for telling me that." And I was able to get like some ground beef because like I've been making like big ass meals, just like of like pulled pork, spaghetti, just like meals where like we can just like eat on for like several days and everything.
Yep, buy in bulk.
Dude, it's funny that you mentioned like Chinese restaurants because Chinese stores because you won't find any 45 supporters there, so they're pretty sure that's a safe place to go.
Yeah, and especially because Costco's not shutting down after this. Like Costco and Walmart, they're still gonna have money and everything, but your local mom and pop grocery stores or your hardware stores and everything like that, they're the ones that are gonna be really, really hurting. So it's always good to support them as best you can if possible. I mean, we understand it might be a little bit difficult going to some of these spots, and it's out of our normal comfort zone, but it definitely helps because they're hurting too. Everybody's hurting.
Dude, there's like a little fruit stand by me, and like literally yesterday, I've never seen this place packed before. Like it's usually like maybe 3 cars that are in the parking lot. This fucking place had like a herd of people up in there, and this place has been there for like a long time, but like a lot of people don't go there, but yesterday they cleaned out. Like there's so many people in there buying produce and vegetables and stuff. Crazy.
I was surprised because a lot of these, like, I forget if it was Prodigy was saying, but a lot of these hoes acting like they know how to cook and shit. They on the struggle bus and shit.
Yeah, right.
All these struggle plates and all this shit.
Look,
I don't got no love for them, and especially these hoes that are still on Twitter asking you to subscribe to their premium Snapchat and their OnlyFans. Fuck y'all.
Any girl born after 1993 can't cook. All they know is buy, twerk, McDonald's, and be bisexual. That's
wait,
it.
hold on. I just have to wait. Are you guys talking about the whole grocery store situation?
Yeah.
How there's plenty of
Yeah.
produce. There's so much produce.
Yeah.
There's like it's out of all the prepared foods are gone.
Free.
What?
Oh shit.
Oh man.
It's terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, people don't know how to cook.
What
It's
the hell is basket?
Should we switch it up a little bit? Because I know we could talk about this for forever, but should we talk about a little bit of some of the things that are canceled in the nerd world specifically that we're
Yeah,
everything?
absolutely. Let's get people's minds off of
Motherfucking
the obvious.
all right. So
It's
not
not.
that
They
I'm
tell you not
happy
to
about
touch your
this
face.
at all. Not that I'm happy about this at all. You know, I have my violin.
Oh god, here we go.
Here
and
it
I'm
comes.
so somber.
Oh, here it goes.
But
Oh
it
no.
does appear that Scarlett Johansson will not have a box office hit in
This
May
summer.
for 2020.
Okay, you hear this vernacular?
So-
will not
so-
have a box
so-
office hit. Her movie got pushed back.
So-
Not that shit that ain't nobody gonna go see it.
So
Look
this
at
means
you. Look at
we
you.
go another
No.
we go another year without Gal Gadot working. Is that what you're saying?
This fucking guy.
I know, right?
Gal ain't pushed back yet.
Not yet. If this continues on, she will be. I don't know
Just
what
saying.
you're talking about.
I mean,
Look.
maybe Disney Plus can push it out or something.
No, you are no.
No, they moved your Birds of Prey movie to Disney Plus. That's what they did.
Ah!
That shit's
Whatever
DC.
online service picked that shit up.
Oh damn! Got him.
But I do think it's cool how some of the studios are releasing their movies into on-demand services because all the movie theaters are fucking closed, at least in California.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, around the bay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's something that's gonna be need to brought up. I mean, they're already releasing some films early at home. So Frozen 2 just got dropped on Disney Plus like super early, and that's like
Yep.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
It's early.
which is really cool. Which is funny because like K-Mac bought it the day that it dropped on Disney Plus. I was like, huh. Well, I guess I bought it. She clicked the button, it comes out of my account because it was on Amazon or whatever. But it's fine, whatever. But I think that one thing that this whole lockdown thing has shown a lot of us is that technology is kind of our way to like re-socialize and like make things sort of normal, and it's going to show us like how many things we could have done at home rather than going out. And I think the movie theater industry is one of them. Look, listen, I would happily pay $20 to watch a movie at home, and I've said this for a long time when it comes to the theaters because I have it's in 4K in the theaters anyway. I got a 4K TV. I got a decent surround sound system. I can make fucking popcorn. What's the deal? You know what I mean? Like, what's the
Popcorn sounds
deal?
good right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because
I mean-
like some people have been bootlegging movies onto YouTube. So if you weren't able to, you could have watched the whole entire Sonic movie on YouTube for free.
Weren't you blues? You were saying that Rise of Skywalker's on YouTube too, isn't it?
But yeah, it's been on there. Like you have to catch it because YouTube's pretty good at taking it down.
So if you get it right, you get it at the right time. Also, another good gem is Facebook. So if you type in certain names for like usually like films that are like 10 years old or whatnot, you can still get the full movie on Facebook.
Yeah, you could do like watch parties and shit like that, and it comes up.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Netflix was doing that watch party thing. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Beyonce. I thought that was kind of cool.
No, they do it for everything now.
Yeah.
Like there's a extension you can put it on. I think it's Chrome, and you can watch. You can chat with each other. We all watch the same thing, and we can chat with each other through the app.
Even
So it's
interspecies reviewer?
I
that's
knew it.
not
I knew you
Netflix,
would bring
so
that up. I
yeah.
knew it. Oh, I saw it coming.
You've been on that shit.
Like man,
I
did you see them titties?
Right? It's like, oh, did you see those cow tits? Oh, did you see the slime girl with her tentacles? Like, what?
Wait,
One cool thing that some companies are doing is that like they're offering like free internet. Like I think Xfinity has allowed for customers to connect to their Wi-Fi for no charge. But I think like phone companies, like cell phone companies, are offering like unlimited data, even if it's not part of your plan, which is kind of cool.
Oh shit!
Lilo was saying we're about to cancel DirecTV for the next couple months and HBO Go because I was just like, all I need is my internet and we're good or whatever. Since we're gonna be living in quarantine, pretty much the only reason I had really DirecTV was to watch sports, and there ain't no sports going on anytime soon. So I was
Yeah.
like, fuck it. I was like, yeah, we can cancel it for right now.
You can just get what am I using now? I'm using Hulu, like the Hulu Live thing, Hulu Plus. It's fucking good. It's way cheaper than fucking DirecTV.
Mhm.
You get most of your sports well when sports comes back on. If they don't all,
Yeah.
contract. You know what's hilarious to me? Or it's fucked up. Is that all these, NBA players can get the coronavirus test, but my kid can't.
Yeah.
Like,
A
what
lot
the
of people are
fuck?
pointing that out.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll touch on it briefly or whatever because this is a little bit sports related, but like a lot of people bring up, they do bring that up, but it's like, okay, the owners. I mean, we saw a lot of people go out and donating money to like the arena workers. Like we saw like Steph Curry, Kevin Love, and all these other players going out and be like, all right, I pledge $100,000 to the workers and everything like that work the stadium, the ushers and everything. But the $1 billion owners are the ones that should be doing this, rather than the players. Yet the players make hundreds of millions of dollars and they're rich, but the owners, the wealthy ones, are the ones just like sitting back chilling while their head slave goes out and takes care of everybody in the arena. I was just like, what the fuck?
They're letting the house Negroes pay for the fucking the field Negroes. That's what they're doing.
Exactly. Just baffling to me.
Yeah. Some owners have stepped up, but you're right. The overwhelming majority, 80-90%.
Yeah. Mark Cuban has done a really good job, and he's been like right off from day one. He was like, "Don't worry about me. Don't worry about these players." He's like, "I'm concerned about the ushers and the food vendors here and stuff like that." When everything started to come out, when that first NBA player tested, they were interviewing him like courtside because I think his game was going on when they found out the news, and he was the one that was just like, "You need to think about the people that are employed here rather than me, the owner of this spot." And a lot of people have followed suit, but like Zion Williams, rookie basketball player, he's I think 19 years old, just right off the bat, just donated $100 million and everything, while the owner of the Pelicans is just sitting there and just like, yeah, good job, Zion. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it just shows that there's still really bad people in our society. It's just like people don't understand that people need help, not corporations. Like they're already talking about like all these like $1 billion bailouts for all these corporations, but it's like why?
Bailouts.
It's like why? All right, so first of all, they're lowering the Fed amount, right? Like the actual, so it lowers your interest rates. So right now it's between like 0 and like 0.25, which is like basically fucking nothing. Eventually go to negative, which I talked about before. I'm not going to do it again. But the whole point of this is so people can borrow money, right? So why the fuck are you bailing out these corporations when they can just fucking borrow the money at a lower interest rate?
Yep.
Why are you using taxpayer money? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. Give the goddamn money to the fucking people.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
The people need to be bailed out. People need to be bailed
It's
out.
because-
I mean,
Because we have a businessman as the president, that's the way business think. They think about other businesses. They don't think about the people.
I still wasn't just him.
Business.
President Obama, he bailed out the companies too. He wasn't a businessman.
he did.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's
you know.
true.
But this guy's a failed business guy a whole lot of times as well. But we're getting dragged back. We're getting dragged back into the first topic though.
Fuck him though.
Were there? Do we want to touch upon just in the world of gaming? Obviously.
Oh yeah.
There was some big news. You know.
Well,
Let's break this down.
there's some big
What's
news.
to talk about?
Well, it depends on what big news you're talking about. You talking about the PS5 stuff?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's
let's do that.
what came
Alright,
out
we'll
You
today.
gotta let Old Ninja wants to take a small victory lap. I'm sure
No, I mean
because
we got to
his Xbox has on paper got better stats.
That doesn't matter. None of that matters. None of that matters. What matters is what's going to be available when the console drops. What are we going to be able to play? What are you going to be able to experience?
So games matter.
What matters? So people were bringing up like backwards compatibility with the PS5. Is it only going to be just the PS4, or are you going to be able to go all the way to PS1? So
No. Okay, hold on.
Prodigy, get him with it. Here, I'm gonna throw the alley oop to Prodigy.
Time out. Let's do the Dwayne Wade to LeBron Miami style. Let me break this down to you. 95%, maybe even 96% of all the gamers in 2020 are not playing any PS1 games. Can we stop with that bullshit of people going back to PS1 era games? Nobody's doing that. Nobody.
Like even when they
Maybe
re-release
even
it on the
98%.
PS4, people aren't fucking playing them.
No,
You're not playing Jet Moto?
PS1 or PS2 games. And now PS3, it seems old and outdated, but almost all of the good PS3 games got PS4 updated remaster versions. Almost all of them.
Yeah, I think that's something that most people like kind of.
I don't buy into this. I don't buy into this PS1, PS2 era. I need to play games from 1996, 1998 in their original format in 2020. And that's a big selling point. I think that's fucking horse shit, man.
Yeah, well, and it's gonna look fucking awful. Like they look at their memories through rose-colored glasses. Listen, if you go and play the first God of War, and then play the God of War that was released like 2 years ago, are you fucking serious? Like seriously,
yeah.
Like there's not even a comparison. It'd be like comparing like a street hooker to like I don't even fucking like the hottest chick you can think of. Like there's
J-Lo or Beyonce.
Yeah, it's like there's no comparison.
It's like your ex-girlfriend. It's like an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. It's just like, dude, like they're fond memories, but once you bring it back up, like they're terrible. Like, what was it? It was Saints Row 2. I want to play that game so bad. I heard it was so good, but the controls are fucking awful. Like, and the graphics were bad. The graphics were bad. I can get over that, but the controls were so fucking outdated. We're all used to playing a game a certain way in 2020. All right.
Oh yeah.
And if you're not used to, if you have to go back to like the old style of gaming, especially when it comes to like first-person shooters, like action games, it's very cumbersome, and I think that most people don't understand that, and that's why. I mean, even though the Xbox One had backwards compatibility, it didn't sell any more units.
Yeah.
I mean, they're behind the Nintendo Switch right now.
Yeah, and I'll just say this too. I'm all in favor. Like one of the Golden Eggplant Award-winning games of 2019 was a completely remastered from the bottom up, Resident Evil 2. Yeah. If you want to take the time to make an old game updated for the modern era, then that's going to be possibly successful if you knock it out of the park. But you playing some game from 1997 and thinking this is the shit. Nobody's doing that.
Yeah, it's not.
I even have kids who I've tried to do that with, and they're just like, "Dad, what the fuck is this old shit?"
Well, the thing is that those games are not in the nostalgia zone yet, and even I don't think they ever will be for a lot of reasons. But when you go back and play like really old school Nintendo games, they're very simple to play, right? So when you're playing like a Mario game or something like that, they're simple to play. There's nostalgia factor there because they're simple, easy to understand, and they're not trying to introduce new concepts into the gaming world. But what we have in like the PlayStation 1, PS2 era, the PS1 era especially, they didn't know how controls work yet. Like 100%. Their DualShock thing, it worked, but in today's terms, like it doesn't fucking work. It's the same thing with like when people complain about the old
PS1 have shock.
Yeah, it did. They had a DualShock controller, and it was later on in the generation.
Did it buzz? I can't remember.
No, it didn't. I don't think the first one did.
PS2 had the one.
No, that was the DualShock 2.
Yeah, the original PlayStation had DualShock.
Yeah, it did.
With the toggles, the joysticks.
Yes, it had the nipples.
I remember the nipples.
But the thing was that they didn't really understand like how to really make those work very well. I mean, the first game that did like a first-person shooter well on a console was the N64, and then people still make fun of it to this day because of the way the controller's designed. But that controller design for like GoldenEye was fucking genius. But a lot of other games,
for its time.
Well, not even just for its. I mean, even today, it still sort of works, but the graphics are fucking terrible. Only because it played like it played more like a PC game, right? Because you use like the up, down, left, right, like kind of analog, like normal controllers, and then you use the analog controller to like move the head around. That's more like PC like.
But I'm confused in my head. So when we're talking about the Dual Shock, are we talking about it vibrating, or are we talking about the?
vibrated.
Okay,
The
because
PS1 vibrated.
so, but it didn't have the R3 L3, correct?
It had that too. The PlayStation controller had not changed since the
No,
PS1, other than
Wait,
the touchscreen
what?
up top.
No, I thought PS1 did not have the R3 L3, and I thought that came
I
in
agree.
PS2.
No,
I agree.
I'm pretty sure.
It did. I'm looking at. Actually, no. This.
No, but you couldn't press it. There's a difference.
Yeah, you
could
can't press it
control
down.
with
No,
it.
no.
Yeah.
You couldn't push on the joystick buttons to have it interact.
And I'm trying to go back 20 years.
Because that was the one you plugged it in. It was just like the silver looking one, and I remember it didn't have the little mini button, turn the analog on and off, right?
The original one did. Yeah, but that was the original one didn't, and then a PS2. Well, I'm trying to find the original one. Yeah,
So there
is a PlayStation DualShock.
I did a Wikipedia.
They had two different controllers in their lifetime.
Okay, maybe it was a later gen or later in their cycle, but
Okay.
we got.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The PS1 DualShock, and yeah.
So basically, what they took was a pager motor and stuck it into the fucking controller. That's all it is. It's a little motor with a little off-center weight, and it spins when certain fucking actions happen.
Nice.
They had it back then.
But yeah, here's the thing. I think we're all in agreement, man. The concept of playing that late '90s era games is a little bit ridiculous in 2020. But I think super uber weebs on processing specs. Some of them nerded out. Some of them were very, very disappointed with the PS5 reveal from a spec standpoint. I care about the games, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's about the games. I mean, you can have something that have fucking 45 gajillion fucking teraflops. If you have no fucking games to play it on, who gives a shit? To this day, there are zero console exclusives that are coming out for the new Xbox Series, whatever the fuck. There's none.
There's Halo Infinite.
Another Halo game.
Is that
Halo game?
Is that an exclusive though?
What does that mean?
It's available on the PC.
So Godfall is an exclusive to the PS5. Is it Halo Infinite coming out on the Xbox One as well?
Oh yeah. If you get an Xbox One, you can transfer it over to the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, so you're not getting. There's nothing that you're getting extra for this fucking console. Like they're not making a game specifically for this console.
Not yet. That I hear. Yeah.
Yeah, those are crickets, by the way. So
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's problems with the PS5 too. I mean, we still don't even have the fucking hardware. Like, can we just talk about today's fucking reveal?
Yeah.
With the robot?
It was with the robot. It was fucking bullshit. All right, so if you didn't watch it, you ain't missing shit. Unless you're a super nerd. I mean, I'm a super nerd, and I was kind of like, I don't give a shit about what this guy's saying. They're just talking about the technical specs and the new shit they're bringing in. I get that, but you need to fucking show the console. You need to show what the controller looks like, what the actual hardware looks like. You need to start announcing more games. Stop giving us all these little bullshit. Like, we understand that it's going to be better than the last generation. You don't have to quantify it in all these fucking super asinine fucking terms, in teraflops and all this other bullshit. And, it's got, so much RAM and SSDs. Like, we all assumed that it was going to have all this shit. So, the whole conference I had today with the guy who I'm pretty sure wasn't even a real person, he might have just been fucking a deepfake guy. It seemed very fucking awkward.
Damn.
But it was kind of a waste of time for me and for a lot of people.
What's the price?
Nobody knows.
No price.
It's a good question.
No price. The specs.
I don't think they announced it.
There's been so much speculation on the price for months and months, and I follow a whole bunch of PlayStation folks and listen to a whole bunch of PlayStation podcasts. I'm hoping this is not going to be over like the 500 or 550 mark because, obviously, we've talked about it earlier, but, it's looking more and more each day like we are middle of a global recession already and times are hard. But
exactly.
But and with the PS3, we all remember the ridiculousness of the PS3 launch. But
yeah, that shit was expensive.
was like $600 back in like 2000 and what 7,
600,
8?
yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a lot of money back then.
So
but I was rich
so
back then. It was great.
the price the price is going to be extremely important. What games are going to be available, and then obviously, I'm happy to hear that the PS4 titles are going to be playable at day one. That's great, because there's a good chance that there won't be a whole lot of brand new titles, a whole lot of but we'll see. We don't know enough. This was not a great reveal.
It definitely was not. And I mentioned before, the guy
Was there a high,
sounded like a goddamn robot. He looked like Dana Carvey, and he talked like a robot. Like it was a really like uninteresting event. Like, because you have your E3s and you have your
was
what's the name events, and this one was just so
DDC.
boring for an announcement. Yeah, DDC.
All of those
so
got
was there
canceled.
anything that sort of was there anything that sort of stood out to you guys about this? Like, I remember when they announced the PS4, like, the thing that sort of stood to me personally was like the ability to share your gameplay and like stream stuff and everything. I can't remember if that was announced at launch, if that happened at like an E3, or if they did that during when they were releasing the specs for the actual console. But was there anything that I mean, Kronos and Blue are more the people? Was there anything that they announced today that sort of like raised your eyebrow a little bit and be like, oh, that's gonna be cool?
No, it's basically. I mean, it's shit that we already kind of assumed. So they're using an SSD and they're gonna leverage it very hard for the PS5, which is what I assumed anyway. Like, if you're gonna have it in the fucking console, why not leverage it? So they're gonna say something that they said in the PS4 is that they're gonna get rid of load screens, which I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. Like, you're not gonna get rid of load screens. Like, I mean, you can try. God of War did it, but that's pretty much the only. There's very few games. I think there's like maybe 3, maybe 4 games that have done it. If you can get rid of them all, that'd be great, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? I mean, Spider-Man's another one that did a really good job of like hiding cutscenes, except for like when you fast traveled.
Yeah.
But they were saying specifically is that fast travel on the PS5, it'll be possible to fast travel and instantaneously, and then you'll just move. Well, I'm like, that's a bold statement, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think that there was somebody posted that they're gonna for the controllers at least, they're gonna have wireless charging. Did they mention that during a conference? Because I caught some of it. I didn't catch all of it.
I didn't see that in the. I skipped over part of it, but it was like a very brief part. So
Yeah.
Wireless charging to me isn't really a big deal.
No, I mean it's convenient. It's not
No,
like
same here.
my cell phone does that.
Yeah, I don't mind.
But I mean,
I just put my shit on a base usually, like, or like a
yeah.
plug it in. It's like it's not a big deal.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not a
so
big of a deal.
I'm a little further away in my
Like a docking
den.
station.
Yeah, I'm a little further away in my den. I will say this, and I love the PS4. It might be my favorite console of all time, but from the controller, this version of the DualShock standpoint, to be fair for me, I'm a little bit disappointed in the battery life overall, or the charging life overall. I would like it to, for them to find a solution at launch that gives it a little bit more life. I didn't give a shit about the light that was on there. I don't know if that's a huge power drain. It probably
I just
is.
dimmed it.
But I could
Dim
use
it
a
or
little
turn
bit
it
more.
off.
Also, the speaker
light.
doesn't really do too much right now.
It used to.
Yeah.
Well, that's-
It used to like
Yeah, I
this.
remember Killzone.
Yeah,
had
you
that.
used to
Yeah.
like on
What game used Alexa?
used Alexa.
Resogun used to talk to you on Resogun pretty often.
Yeah. And there's a few other ones too, where it's like a radio came through, but people just kind of developers just kind of stopped using it. So for the controllers, it's funny because I'm thinking about, like you just said, battery life is poor. I'm just like, is it that poor? I'm like, I'm looking at my desk and I have fucking 3 PS4 controllers sitting on my desk for a reason.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah, you got to rotate them out.
I don't know. The only thing that I would like from this generation, I feel like they could have had it a little bit longer. I distinctly remember the PS3 controller lasting much longer, and obviously it wasn't as sophisticated, but it certainly had the rumble and the DualShock and whatnot. But it is what it is. I want to see what this thing looks like too.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so and the other thing to point out, guys, with all of these other consoles and conventions either being canceled or Sony saying, "Nah, we're not going to do that." It kind of, I mean, we're here in March. It makes us feel kind of like, well, when are you going to reveal all of the information, like what it looks like, how much it costs, exactly which games are at launch? Is that happening over the summer? You know, or are you waiting till maybe this crisis and pandemic slows down, which we don't know, fucking know?
I mean, which is
It all seems up in the air.
yeah, which I mean, right now it's kind of understandable that they're kind of slowing stuff down, but months ago it wasn't understandable because I mean,
Yep.
I'm sure right now there's going to be supply chain issues, like serious supply chain issues. A lot of shit is made in China,
Yes.
and that place is still locked down. And if
Yep.
that's where the majority of your manufacturing is happening, then I can understand. But what I'd rather have them do is just push it back. Like instead of like not giving us information, but like still saying that it's, you know, holiday 2020. Just say, hey, we're gonna have to look at like spring 2021 because of like all this stuff that's obviously
Yep.
happening. So I would much rather the whole like both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X just get pushed back. I mean that to me that seems reasonable. I think that most consumers would understand.
Yeah.
And plus the Xbox and
Yeah.
the PlayStation 4, they're still playable. It isn't like games aren't out there that we can play. So just they can hold out for next year.
There it is. One big title is dropping. I think what is it, Thursday or Friday? We got Doom Eternal dropping with some pretty solid fucking reviews. So I think Kronos, you're picking this one up, right?
Hey,
Maybe. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. Yeah, Prodigy, you said Animal Crossing.
Oh, this
This fucking guy.
God damn it. Fucking weebs, man.
Leave 100.
So,
Hating your own stuff. How you self-hating?
I'm just saying, it's super fucking cringy. You know what y'all did, fucking Animal Crossing weebs.
Anyway.
But anyway,
yeah. So I actually, I pre-ordered Doom Eternal. I pre-ordered Final Fantasy VII as well, the remake. But yeah,
Yeah.
as far as I know, right now, Doom Eternal might make it when it releases. I have no fucking idea because they said there's only essential things from Amazon right now.
Wait, you say Ninja Turtles?
what?
The hell?
Ninja Turtles. What are you talking about?
What game are you talking about? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Doom
Doom
Eternal. Doom Eternal. Yeah, not
Doom
Ninja
Turtles?
Turtles.
What?
Motherfucker.
Wait, what is it called?
Doom Eternal.
Doom.
Oh, Doom Internal.
Eternal.
Okay.
No, Eternal.
Animal
Eternal, not internal.
Animal,
Ninja Turtles.
Animal
Jesus
Crossing.
Christ.
That's what it is.
Interspecies reviewers.
Oh my god.
Any fucking way. All right, so Doom Eternal drops on what, Friday? 2 days from now? Yeah, it's Friday. And I'm really looking forward to it. I actually
man.
went back and played. I didn't finish the Doom that dropped in 2016, even though I really enjoyed it. I think another game came out like right around the same time, and it just got dropped. I'm going back
Yeah.
and I'm playing it now. It's fucking so fun.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it, and Doom Eternal looks like a marked improvement over this game. Y'all should definitely check out some of the gameplay videos and see if you like it or not. I mean, there's plenty of them out there. IGN has a whole bunch, so check it out. But it's gonna play like a game that most people probably aren't used to, because I think a lot of people are used to like either the cover-based like shooters or the regenerative style shooters where like a Call of Duty where you regenerate health. That's not Doom. All right.
Yeah.
In Doom, you need to fucking basically go out there with your balls out, all your fallopian tubes, whatever, female. Get out there and get after it. The more aggressive you are in this game, the better you'll be. If you're timid and you want to like fall back and find cover, you're just gonna get fucking eaten by demons. So in this one, you just what's up?
Leroy Jenkins.
Yes, the game should just be called Leroy Jenkins. You just go out there and just fucking shoot everything in the face. And the way you get health back is by basically like wearing an enemy down, and they flash like a blue and a blue color, and when you're close enough, it flashes orange, and you do like this a glory kill, where basically you like either tear them apart, cut them in half, or just like fucking totally fuck them up, and you get health back, and sometimes ammo and armor. So
Love it.
your whole thing is like you're taking damage, But as long as you're giving out damage and you're killing people, you get health back, and you just keep doing it. And you have like these crazy like loops of like they have enemies that are like kind of like peons and like really hard guys that you have to like kind of like leave the peons alive because the hard guys will like wear you down, and then you go back to the peons and hurt them, and then get your life back, and then go back to the hard guy. And it's a really interesting style of gameplay. It's nothing like what most people are used to for like modern first person shooters, but they're just it's so much fun. What the fuck? Hold on, what is going on here?
You forgot the fact that they're...
No, I'm laughing at Blue.
Is that his body pillow? Yeah.
Yeah. My body pillow.
Always be yourself unless you can be Batman. Then always be Batman.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Real quick on Doom, though. Oh, wow, that's awesome. On Doom, too, you can't forget that the fucking soundtrack
Oh my God.
is the most metal fucking death clock music you'll ever hear, and it gets more aggressive as you keep playing and get into boss battles and shit.
Yes.
Wait, is this game out right now, or is it just a demo you guys been playing?
So Doom, the first one from 2016, that's been out, but the Doom Eternal drops on Friday.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And then the other one I'm a little confused about, and this is super weeby, but I picked up a couple years back Persona 5, but is this new one? I guess they're dropping a remastered version.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've never played Persona, so.
Yeah, I mean it plays like exactly like an anime. I do remember that. I didn't finish it off, but they got a new one that's come out that fans are going crazy for. Fucking weeps.
For a second, but it's all good. He's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost him.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a good time
to
sort of be alive, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're into gaming and shit.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we should have a lot of Twitch content now that we're all gaming, I guess.
Oh, this weekend you get Assassin's Creed Origins for free, so another thing to look forward.
Nice.
Yeah. So
what's weird is
I had obvious glitches with the game, but nobody else
Odyssey
did.
Or Origin? Odyssey or Origin?
I'm sorry, Odyssey. Odyssey's the free one, right?
oh,
I think it's Odyssey.
Yeah, Odyssey's Greek.
Yeah, so the Odyssey one is the one that I think it's going to be free.
Okay, I was about to ask.
And that's the one that was like glitch filled just for me, but when it wasn't glitchy, it was dope. But it was glitchy as fuck.
The horse stopped working after it ate the apple or some shit?
Everything stopped working for me for this game. Like, every fucking thing stopped working. And
Dude,
I literally bought a PS4 Pro because I thought it was my PS4, and the same glitches. I don't have video proof, and the shit was fucked up, even after patches.
I would say this. Get the free version or whatever. Hopefully that works for you. I loved it. It was literally my finally having a Xena and Wonder Woman video game.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what it was. So.
Well, speaking of free, I mean, you jumped on Modern Warfare this week. What were you up on Modern Warfare? What's it called? The Warzone? Warzone? Yeah.
So I played a little bit of this with Stitch and with Old Ninja. This game is fucking fun, man. In fact, I'd say it's the most fun I've ever had in a battle royale, except for maybe like my first few weeks playing Fortnite when it's brand new. This one, it feels like true Call of Duty because it is. I like the fact that it's free and you can play with everybody. There's always matches going on. Plunder is my shit. Because you're looting, and then you have the little Metal Gear Solid 5. What's that? Ballooning. What's the shit called?
It's called a cash balloon. That's how it's called. It's just called.
What do they call it in Metal Gear?
Oh.
What was it? Yeah.
What was that shit, Kronos, in Metal Gear? Where you played Metal Gear Solid 5?
Shit, I forgot. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I know what you're talking about though, like the balloon thing.
Yeah.
In Modern Warfare, it's just a cash balloon.
Yeah.
It would drop your little dog and everything in Metal Gear.
I love that. But this game is fucking hyper ass fun. The only thing that I like the fact that your multiplayer and your co-op.
I got it. It's the Fulton. The Fulton device.
What?
The Fulton device.
That's it. But I like the fact that your skills and your favorite guns crossed over. That's one of my favorite things about it. I want to be able to continue leveling up my gun And Stitch, it looks like, got a fucking first place and shit, so he's got video proof.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Solo.
it was fun. I've been enjoying it. They released the solo battle royale version where it's like you versus like it's 150 people, and it's just whoever makes it to the end survives and everything. It's just kind of like Fortnite. The gas will enclose on you, and then essentially it's one versus one. But I got kind of lucky and kind of good, and I ended up getting a first place on it yesterday. I was pretty hyped at like 2 in the morning. I was excited about it. I mean,
What was your kill rate?
I I killed 5 people. I can't remember if I went to the Google or not because it was just like I've been playing so much like video game and everything. But I was pretty efficient. But like Prodigy said, it's really cool how you can just customize your weapon and you have like 10 different loadouts. You can kind of choose how you want to match it up with your playstyle. But I've been having a blast with it, especially since everybody else is in the situation where they're for the most part just sitting at home. You can game with a lot of your boys, and like he said, it's free to play. It's not one of those free to play where I need to buy Call of Duty and spend $50-$60 on it. If you just have a PlayStation, you can download it from the store. And from what Old Ninja was saying, you don't even need PlayStation Plus to
no, you don't need PlayStation
play.
Nope.
It's also cross-play. It's also cross-play enabled where I was playing with my boy Brad who has Xbox, and it took us a minute to figure out how to work the chat system, which we found a YouTube video to help it smooth everything out. Yeah, but it's great, especially when you're not supposed to be hanging out socially. It's great to just get on a party chat and just hang out with your boys and just game and talk about whatever bullshit, and you're playing the game. It's fun. I dropped another $5 to the battle pass and everything, so I bought 2 battle passes on this game.
You bought the battle pass?
Fuck.
I tried to tell you.
I mean, I might as well. I mean, it's not bad.
So at this point, yes. Before, like 2 weeks ago, I was like, nah, you're already like behind. But now you've been all about it. You've been trying to level up like religiously. You've been playing nightly and just fucking people up. It's good.
Yeah, I'm going to be smarter about it in this season because I'm not going to get tricked into buying all these new skins for the guns and everything.
Yeah,
even though there are some ones that look pretty cool. But it's a really enjoyable game, and I know it's early. We're only in March, but I mean, I anticipate it being on there for a Golden Eggplant nominee.
Can I say something real quick? Yeah. I got a question about the guns.
I mean, it was nominated last year, but
true. Well, but this is a new mode or whatever that's free. But my question is, so in terms of the guns, one of my favorite things from last year's Call of Duty in Black Ops was in that zombie mode where you could like get that pack-a-punch gun. It was had a faster firing rate and was all those different weird ghostly colors, neon shit. Can you do that in this? Do you know?
Dude, they have some anime. They have some anime referenced guns.
Shit.
I can't remember. I cannot remember the names of it, but it was just like it was reminding me of like how you used to talk about like what was it, the absolute territory kind of thing.
Yeah.
With like
there's a skin. There was a skin. I don't know if it's available now, but there was one that highly alluded to absolute territory. I think it was even called absolute territory.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I forget what it was called, but there was some highly anime reference kind of stuff. I mean, there's like 3, and the cool part is it rotates, so it's they're smart because they want you to spend their money and everything, but they'll eventually rotate back into the rotation in terms of like what you can buy at the store for Modern Warfare, because like you'll see something and be like, oh fuck, it might go away tomorrow. And it'll be back. It won't be gone forever, but you don't know when it will be back. So it kind of teases you to be like, hey, you should spend your Call of Duty points now to get this cool-looking
get it now while it's here.
Gun. Yeah, or you can like wait a week, maybe, and it'll come back, or maybe wait 2 weeks, and you have no idea. So it is tempting in terms of when you get it. But the best thing where I thought to do is like each season pass is like 1,000 Call of Duty points. So as long as you have 1,000 in your bank to buy the new pass when that expires in like 20 something days, because I think every season is what, 30 days,
I
45
think it's
days.
like 45
Okay.
to 50.
Yeah, then you can buy a new season pass and get started on that whole like track. But the first season, I was just like, "Oh, that looks cool. I'll buy that. Oh, that looks cool. I'll buy that." And then when the new season pass came out, I didn't have enough Call of Duty points to buy that. I was like maybe like 300 Call of Duty points short. I was like, "Fuck! I should have played more in season one." So
Yeah.
they know how to lure you with the fish hook pretty well in that. So I'm gonna be smarter this season than I was in the previous.
Sure.
It's like a drug dealer selling crack. If you got to get that first sample for free.
You give them the first one,
kinda.
the first hit for free. Yes, exactly. Oh, that reminds me. Not to go back
crack?
on the whole coronavirus thing, but your favorite B-list actor Idris Elba came down with it.
Oh yeah.
He's a national treasure.
I don't know about that.
I mean, that's like not this country, but
he's
you know,
still-
whatever.
Well, no, because he got it too, and then there's some other celebrity that got it recently.
Tom
Kevin
Hanks
Durant.
has it. Kevin Durant.
Durant,
Tom Hanks and his wife.
Norman from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's got
Oh
it.
yeah.
Because people like
Yeah, so-
the people posted the meme of him saying like, "Hey, I got the coronavirus," and they showed like the giant chick looking at him like, "What the fuck? Like, why are you looking at me?"
That realm.
Yeah. So, black folks, you are not immune to the coronavirus, even though he's black and English.
Well, he's from the
You
UK.
can just
I mean, he's still
you
African
can-
descent, so
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, and then Gobert is black, but he's French.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Durant's black and American.
Still African descent.
Durant was the first one of us to get it.
Oh, man.
Let's get into a little bit of weeb and anime news. After a long hiatus, I believe one of the shows that Kronos and even Blue has been talking about for a long time, Bleach and Ichigo are set to return. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing, which is good because it didn't end on a high note, and was a really good anime, you know. And I have high hopes for this latest season because they have material that they can catch up to, and hopefully not too much filler. I mean, because that's one of the things that killed the animes, that they put filler in the wrong times. There was like 2 or 3 different main fight scenes where they put filler in the middle of the fight scenes. Like, what? Could you imagine
Damn.
watching like a Bruce Lee movie, and then just like them cutting in the middle for like a 30-minute commercial? Like, that's basically what they did. Like, it was fucking
And
nonsense.
it was like it'll be a
A
commercial that shows
30-minute commercial? What the fuck?
Yeah, so Bleach, they literally had an episode where the main character was fighting against kind of like the season's villain, and they're like, "Oh, you know what? Ichigo is still fighting this villain, but we're gonna go watch this fucking soccer game instead." Like that, literally what fucking happened. And at that point, that's when I stopped watching Bleach. I don't even know what happened after that.
Oh, it got really good after that, actually. But yeah, I watched the whole thing.
I know I need to go back and watch it.
So I was mistaken. I thought that this show had like officially ended. Is this a continuation or is it being rebooted?
So the manga kept going. The anime was done, but the manga
Okay.
was kept going. So yeah.
Gotcha.
I think the guy's name was
looking forward to.
Kubo Tite
Go ahead.
is the main writer's name. The guy who actually made the manga. So it's good to see him back, and like hopefully they'll make this into an actual anime and we'll get some more good stuff, because there was points in the anime where it was like top 3 contender, like of all time, and there was other times just like, this is fucking bullshit. So
Yeah.
And actually, Netflix did a really good job of doing a live action version of Bleach.
yeah, actually I totally
shit.
agree with you. They really did. It was amazing.
Whoa.
It was, yeah, I mean, especially for like an anime live action adaptation, they did a really good job.
Okay.
But
I'll
you know,
check
it's
that one out.
not Netflix that made it. They pretty much just pick up the copyright for the actual Japan movie that was released for the series.
Because all these other ones I've seen have always been trash.
Yeah, they normally are. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally agree. Did y'all watch Altered Carbon at all? Season 2?
Yes, I finished it.
Yeah, I finished it as well. Anybody else?
Mm-mm.
It's really good.
This is
No, I tried watching the Nazi show,
Oh, Hunters?
Hunters.
Hunters. Yeah.
Yeah, but then Storm started to go ape shit, so I had to pause and everything. So I started on Hunters today.
Okay, good. I mean, Hunters, the end is fucking. It's gonna blow your mind. Like the end, I was just like, dude, what the fuck?
It's, right, so should I go with Hunters, Castlevania, or Altered Carbon? Which one should I rank them?
All of
Uh,
them.
yeah, you should. I mean, you got time. Wait, you said Hunters, Altered Carbon, and what else? And Castlevania. So I haven't watched Castlevania yet, so I think you should probably watch Altered Carbon first, then Hunters, and then probably. I haven't watched Castlevania, so I can't rank it.
I would say
Okay.
I would say Optic Carbon, shit, Castlevania, and then Hunters. Just because I haven't finished watching Hunters.
The end, I mean,
Okay.
it was really good.
Oh,
Optic
And,
Carbon has
um,
titties. How
I'm
about
gonna.
I mean, so does Hunters. They're old ass titties, but you know, there's titties in
that? Yeah, I guess that is true.
it.
Well, since we're all in quarantine, for lack of a better word, but I'm gonna issue a Shogugeki to Kronos and tell him that he needs to start putting out on YouTube these sous vide videos of him cooking this
Yeah,
motherfucking
man.
steak or whatever. Because goddamn, like I'm about to eat my phone watching them put some steak and some shrimp in this motherfucker, and we got nothing else to do. Hoes and thoughts out there need to learn how to cook at home or whatever because
Yeah.
they can't just be shaking their ass in the club right now. So they need to know how to cook some good ass, like butter melting tender ass steak. So you need to educate them, Kronos. So yeah, you need to start putting out some content on your sous vide game.
Yeah,
I second that motion.
I can do that because like the sous vide steaks were they're fucking amazing. Like seriously. So K-Mac was I mentioned this to her like a while ago. I was like, yo, we should probably get some sous vide shit because. So the only reason why I got put on sous vide is because at Costco they had this pork belly that was sous vide pork belly. It was fucking amazing, and I was like, you know what? Maybe we should get one. She's like, we got too many gadgets. I'm like, okay. So
We need
you
more
know,
women.
I'm gonna wait, but I'm gonna get it anyway. So I waited, and after a while, I was just like, you know what? I kept seeing that this is why you keep your own money. All right, it's okay. So I was like sitting there, I'm like waiting for a while. I was like, all right, you know what? I keep seeing these sous vide steak recipes. I was like, you know, I'm just fucking pull the trigger.
Yeah,
And it was like,
can't tell me no.
exactly. Shit's my money.
Fucking money.
And it was like, honestly, the sous vide thing is like, my total investment is like probably less than $100. Maybe,
Nuts.
I'm pretty sure it's less than $100.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like basically you buy like the sous vide, like this sous vide, it's like a recirculating
a-
machine thing. And then you
And
have to,
also, it reminds me of the old blender thingies they used to have.
Yeah, it
like
looks-
making smoothies.
yeah, it looks sort of like an immersion blender, but it's not an immersion blender. It just circulates water. So basically, if you want to be like on like the conservative side, you can just buy the sous vide like machine thing and put it on a fucking pot, like a big pot full of water. But the best way to go is like to get like a KitchenAid like 12 quart plastic container thing with a lid that can fit a sous vide on it, and then do it that way. That's the way that I went. But you can definitely do it in a pot.
So my question is, okay, so the sous vide thing that goes into it, it circulates the water. It
Heats it up.
circulates the boiling water, correct?
Well, it doesn't boil
So
per
for
se.
those,
It doesn't
Okay.
boil. I mean, you probably could make it boil, but you don't want to. So basically, what it does, all right. So what sous vide is that basically it's a little like machine that recirculates water at a certain temperature. So say you want a certain food, like a steak, for instance. This is like the best way to do it. So you want a steak to be medium rare to rare. You set it to 147 degrees. I forget the temperature. So say you want it at 135 degrees. You want it kind of pink. All right. So you take the container, you fill it full of water, and then you take your steaks that you want to have, and you season it however you want. I add butter now because, well, fucking why not? Because butter's great. You stick it in this. You stick it in this plastic.
great.
Yeah, you stick it in a plastic bag that's BPA free and FDA approved, and then you vacuum out all the air. All right, that's the key thing there. You stick that plastic, container or the vacuum sealed container into your water, and then what I do is I put like a plate on top of it so it sinks to the bottom, and then you start your sous vide
Okay.
machine. So you set it to like 135 degrees and let it sit there for like 2 hours. No matter what, the temperature will never go above 135 degrees. So no matter what, your steak will always be fucking cooked perfectly. All right, so it takes the stupidity out of cooking a fucking steak. All right, and so the only thing you gotta do to like make it like perfect is after. So I set it at like 135 degrees for 2 hours. You can probably do it for less. It's on a timer. It doesn't really fucking matter. You take it out of the sack, and then you sear it on both ends for like maybe a minute. All you just need is just sear it, and it's gonna be the best fucking steak you've probably ever had. Seriously.
Put that on that. Put that on the channel. Put that like Stitch was saying. Put that whole on YouTube
Yeah,
version
man.
of Cooking with Kronos or something.
The whole point, the whole reason why I bought an Instant Pot was because Kronos was talking about how like, oh man, you can throw everything into the fucking same pot and
Yeah.
it'll be ready in like 10 minutes. Basically,
And-
the new version of the Instant Pot.
Well, I mean,
It's not instant. It takes a while, I guess.
yeah, it takes a while. That's one of the main things. It does take a while, and you can't do it. The Instant Pot is sort of like it's a different thing, right? You can't cook soup. Well, you probably could in a sous vide. I made hamburgers, so you can probably do it, but you wouldn't want to. I mean, if you're gonna make soup, definitely go the Instant Pot route. If you want to cook meats and certain hearty vegetables, I would do the sous vide route. Especially if you ever fucked up a steak before, like if you consistently burn your steaks or consistently undercook your steaks, use a sous vide and you'll be a fucking wizard in the kitchen. Like you can't over or undercook it. Like you set it to the temperature that you want, however you like your steaks, and then you sear it for like up to a minute on both sides, and you're good to go. And it's gonna be fucking amazing.
Good shit, man.
So if you have a sous vide machine, it's basically like a hot tub for your food.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I'll tell you what. One thing though is like getting the food in and out. So every time when I put like the plate in, because the plate sinks it down to the bottom, right? I just put it on top. But if you want to be like fancy, you can get some FDA approved steel ball bearings, put them in the sack with whatever you're cooking, and then it'll automatically sink to the bottom. I haven't bought those yet because right now it's only essential foods I guess I can get delivered. But eventually I'll get steel ball bearings to put them in the sack. But when I have to reach into the water to get the fucking plate out and the food out, I should probably use tongs. But I'm like, fuck it, I'm fucking tough. But it
Fucking
hurts.
ninja.
It hurts.
There you go. I want to ask you guys, did anybody watch this? And maybe I'll check it out tomorrow. This new Netflix series with the furries that everybody's going crazy for, Beast Stars on Netflix.
No.
Oh, I
it
heard
just-
of it. I haven't watched it yet.
It
It's not
literally,
today, right?
That's right up your alley.
yeah, it
No, it came out
literally
like
looks like Zootopia with furries doing real funny shit.
Wait, is this live action or is it animated?
Animated.
It's anime.
Okay, yeah, that came out like last week.
Yeah. Did you check it out?
I haven't checked it out, but it was like the first thing Netflix recommended to me. They're like, "Hey, I thought you were into
that's
anime.
scary.
It's just voodoo porn shit."
Nah. It knows your Pornhub categories is what it's saying.
Apparently
do?
Netflix does.
Do.
It's terrible.
I haven't watched it
Yeah,
yet, but I definitely want to check it out because it looks interesting. From the trailers that they show on Netflix, it looks like it's kind of like what's it, Bright, the Netflix movie with Will Smith, where like there's people with like so there's people who like are like animals or whatever, but like they're kind of racially kind of discriminated against. So I don't understand what exactly is going on, so I haven't watched it all, but that's kind of like the gist I got from the trailer.
I'm down to check this one out.
Yeah, same here.
So wait, sticking with Netflix animated shows, who watched more of Castlevania? Who finished it?
I have not, man. I'm still on episode like 3 or 4. I blame my new coworker as this
No, man.
family of mine.
Yeah. Fuck them. No, so I'm like
Damn.
maybe. Oh shit! Stop it.
Damn.
Alright.
He's
No,
got his food porn in the bag.
No, I tried to go to Netflix, and Netflix, once you click on a video or some shit, it starts like showing you like the goddamn trailer.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
Yeah,
Blue.
no, I'm gonna finish it up though. Castlevania, don't get me wrong, it's really, really excellent. I'm finishing up that, and I'm also trying to watch with Mishka some of this U stuff with the brand new Dexter, basically the New York Dexter.
What the? You need to get on that shit.
I'm deep in it. I'm like episode 8 or something.
Oh man.
Oh, okay. You need to start live tweeting. Like, we all need to do a better job of like live tweeting shit, because like I just need entertainment on my Twitter feed rather than you showing like a cow sticking its udder and a girl doing DP.
Oh wait, what? Hey, so now that Netflix has
I'm talking about Prodigy's timeline.
Yeah,
True.
well, we can literally watch something and live tweet together.
I'm down.
Do this Netflix like shit. That shit would be funny.
But y'all know what I've been doing, man. I've been all about becoming the motherfucking Pirate King, goddammit. I started that epic. I'm 80 episodes in. Holy shit, it's gonna be long, man. It's gonna take years.
You're only 80 episodes in? Yeah, it's like 2,000 episodes.
Yeah, I think it's like the third longest running fucking anime ever.
This shit started in the 90s and it's still going in 2020.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So, but I do like it. It is fucking solid now.
So wait, have you guys kind of sticking it out on Netflix? Have you guys watched NFKZ?
No, what the fuck is that?
No.
So
I don't even know what that is.
It's this show on Netflix, and it has like this little black kind of, I don't want to say blob, but it's like a little black person. And he talks about his fucking life in like the ghetto and shit like that. And his best friend is like a rodent, and they have like a house filled with fucking roaches. Dude, it's so fucking funny.
Blue, are you sure that this is an anime and not just baby?
Well, no, it's not an anime. It's animation on Netflix.
Okay.
But, yeah,
what's it called?
It's called MFKZ. Like it's, I think it means I think they're trying to say motherfucking kids, but like they just broke it down to like just the letters. So there's like this little kid who's like, he might be part alien or he might not be, but he's showing his life living up in the ghetto, and his fucking roommate is like this shithole rat guy, and it just talks about like literally the first episode, the guys, he's like riding a moped to deliver like pizza or something like that, and then like all of a sudden he get hit by a fucking goddamn moving van because he's checking out some hot ass fucking Latina as she's fucking walking by. But then once he gets hit by the truck, he realized that he might have abilities or powers since he's a fucking alien. Dude, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, guys, you definitely have to check it out. It's like only like it's like maybe 2 hours long.
So yeah, this says it's an hour and 34 minutes.
That's nothing.
Yes.
So someone's doing like a bong rip.
Yeah, not me. I ain't doing
somebody's
no
moving
right
shit
now.
around on the. Is it you, old ninja? Stop whatever you're doing.
I'm not doing anything. Oh, it could be my phone close to my laptop, but I'm not taking it.
Fucking up.
It sounds like a snowstorm outside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're jacking off.
God damn.
With what, paper? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh damn. With salt crystal? God dang.
All right.
His pleasure.
All right, it's got to stop though. I mean, the noise is like fucking it up.
God damn it. Yeah, dude. That is sounding choppy. Should we round it?
What
Do you have Be the BTI? Or I don't have the topics up.
Yeah, we have a couple.
No.
We have one in the chat.
do?
Yeah, it's from Warrior Fella. He said, "Which ladies from Castlevania would you smash with?"
Ooh.
So I haven't watched the latest season. I only watched like half of the first episode. So
I'm going with, I'm going with. What's my main Carmella? What's the main vampire that just came back?
Oh, Camilla. Yeah, Carmilla.
I love her. She's so fucking evil and twisted and shit.
Yeah.
Cool with it.
Wait
Step
till
on my
you
soul.
wait till you get to know Lenore a bit better. And the actress that voices Lenore, she's in the very first episode of Black Mirror. It's the same actress. So, when you get to know Lenore better, she may flip you to her side. You got to keep watching. You got to keep watching.
I might do some of that tonight. Who's your answer?
For me, I like Cypher. Cypher's kind of freaky. She's like, it's weird because she's basically a naughty nun without wearing a nun's wardrobe. Because she talks all kinds of nasty and shit, but she can throw out like spells and shit. It's kind of weird. But she's, as they say, a woman of the cloth. But yet she's kind of a freak in bed, and she likes killing things. Like that makes her excited.
Trevor is all up in that ass. Going balls deep. All right. What else we got on B2Bs?
Wait, what's the name of the chick that does the magic that hangs out with the?
That's Cypher with
Cypher.
Belmont.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She's she's a little bit of a freak because when homie was like, because somebody had said this is better than sex. He's like, oh yeah. No, he said that this was better than sex, and she fucking was like, guess what? You ain't getting no fucking pussy tonight. So you know that she is down to fuck.
Pretty much, she got super pissed off about that.
Oh, wait, do we
got hella pissed off?
Oh, we already asked
I was gonna say I had a Be Them BTI question or whatever, and it would probably play in good today. But if you could only have 3 cabinet arcade games to play for the rest of your life, obviously we're in quarantine-ish, but if you can only have 3 quarantine cabinet video game arcade games to set up in your house right now and play, what 3 games would they be?
Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Virtual On, and Tekken 3, because I used to go to tournaments for it. Actually, almost all those games. So, yeah. Virtual On, if y'all didn't know, don't sleep on it. Yeah, Blue Nose.
Yeah.
Virtual On, I
would say Virtual On, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, and X-Men. Original X-Men cabinet, yeah. With all fucking 6 buttons.
I'm gonna go with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Ninja Turtles, and then House of the.
You say House of the Dead? You cut out.
Yeah, was that House of the Dead?
Yeah, House of the Dead 2.
All right. 2. All right.
Good shit.
Hold on, real quick. I just gotta ask, Stitch, are you drinking wine out of a normal glass? Is that what you're doing right now?
Why are you exposing me right now?
He's thinking it's over a beer glass. Holy shit!
You're not even post certified, but you're acting like a detective right now.
If you didn't know, like pattern recognition is my thing.
The professor came because obviously whenever we had our child and everything, and I think only 3 guests have seen her like live in person. So the professor and his girlfriend Juliet came to see, and then like outside of like family or whatever, no one else has really like seen her. But
we want to see her. We just
used to work
can't.
at Winty, which is like a major winery out. What's that? Oh yeah, I mean it's just circumstances, obviously. So he just brought us a shit ton of sparkling wines and all kinds of shit. So like my refrigerator in my garage is full of like random ass wines and stuff that he just gives as gifts.
So he didn't give you a fucking wine glass?
I think today might have been like one of the first.
That's terrible.
Wait, what did you say?
I said he didn't give you a fucking wine glass, you plebe?
I missed that.
He didn't give you a wine glass.
Well, I don't need. If I'm drinking at home, what does it matter?
We're over the fucking world.
I can swirl the wine. I can do this. I know what it smells like.
Oh, people are gonna be so mad at people in France and fucking. They're gonna be so angry right now.
Oh my god.
Who gives the fuck if it's in a wine glass or whatever? I'm not drinking out of a paper cup. Or you want me to put a brown paper bag around the bottle?
I mean, you might as well. I mean, just saying.
Some MD.
That would be good.
That's terrible.
So it's just wine out of a beer glass. I forget what the fuck I was saying before I got
It doesn't matter.
interrogated. You didn't even read me my.
Yeah,
He didn't even read me my Miranda rights. I should have asked for like counsel and shit like that. I fucked up on that. That was my bad. Got a free confession out of me. I gave mine. I forget. Did anyone else have to give this?
Oh, let me give mine real quick. I loved Operation Wolf. The 4-player Daytona racing game.
Oh shit!
And then that latest version of that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the one we played over at Big Gay Owls. Holy shit!
That is good. That is really good.
Big gay out.
Yeah, I was too drunk to remember that game.
For me, it would be Airbusters, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and the arcade Mario Kart.
That's a good
never
one.
going to stop.
There you go.
Oh, can I, before we end this podcast, I want to give a shout out to another podcast. They probably don't even know that I even listen to them at this point in time, but it is Digital Sky, I think Media is their name. Let me just confirm real quick that it's them. What the fuck happened here? Yeah, it's Digital Sky. Why is my fucking shit all fucked up? All right, there we go. Yeah, if you look up Digital Sky on like any of your podcasting apps or whatever, check them out. It was such an interesting podcast. So James Gabsey reached out and asked us to take a listen and like review their podcast, and it was such a cool fucking podcast because it was something that I eventually want to do, but I don't have the resources or time to do something like this. Is that none of us really do. So basically what they did was they took what?
No, you said that it's something that you always wanted to do, and I said mattress acting.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Anyway, their podcasts the production value of these podcasts are extremely high. So basically what they did, I listened to one about superheroes, and it was like maybe 30 minutes long, about how this whole group of friends got superpowers through like an app, kind of on accident, and they decided to go and like fight crime or whatever. But the production value is like so high on this. So you have like full sound effects, a full cast of characters, and it's like a full like story in like 30 minutes. So it's basically like listening to a comic book or a show. Yeah, and it's like it's really well done. I'm gonna recommend this to everybody that listens to the podcast. Check out Digital Sky. I was blown away. Like, I want to listen to more. I've been like super busy lately, but the one I listened to was the one about Super. I think it was called like Super App or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was called Super App. But check that one out. And check out the rest of them. I mean, they're really good. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. I mean, we're not getting paid to like. It's not an advertisement by them. It's just something I listened to that I thought was dope. That was recommended by a guy that I super respect. So yeah, there you go.
There you go. Blue, what you got popping this week?
Oh, I'm still staying self-quarantined. I was talking to one of my coworkers earlier, and I asked her if she wants to get in the hot tub later, and she said maybes, but I'm
Do you have a hot tub?
Okay, I get you.
Wait, hold on. Blue, do you have a hot tub? Do you have a hot tub?
Yeah.
What the fuck? All right.
Yeah, I don't think you mentioned that on the podcast.
I did mention on the podcast. So
is it a time machine?
Bruh.
So
I was going to it.
I can do a little tour.
We're taking a tour.
Oh shit!
Virtual tour.
So if anybody's watching,
we're doing BNBTI cribs.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
where the magic happens.
But yeah, I have like I talked about it in a podcast. I have like this really interesting.
Watch the zombie come out. Zombie.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be the wolves. Oh, I'm sorry, the coyotes, because we have the same coyotes.
Oh, you can't really see it.
Yeah, I can see
but
it.
I have an
Yeah.
inflatable hookup.
Oh, nice.
Let's see it.
If I like take this off real here.
Oh shit! Fancy.
The people listening gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
people
right?
listening,
Oh,
they'll be like, what
nice.
the hell?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I have it. It's an inflatable hot tub. It was like
I-
like $400 on Amazon, and it heats the pool up and everything.
Nice.
Good
Yo,
shit. So that's what you're trying to get into.
Blue. I want to know who's playing Just Dance 2020.
I am. Look right here.
Oh, it's got Frozen 2 on there. All right.
Latest
Hey
version.
man, it's a new version of Guitar Hero.
There you go. Stitch,
You
what
got to get your
popping?
cardio in.
You do.
Just sort of just chilling. I'm gonna be playing Modern Warfare. I mean, when I got my first solo victory in Fortnite, I literally threw the controller on, like, I'm done. Like, I was like, I've done what I needed to do. Dropped the mic. I'm good. Like, when I beat Skyrim, I'm like, all right, I don't need to play it anymore. But Modern Warfare is really fun. So I plan on squadding up with you guys and twitching out some stuff because obviously we're all going to be at home. Might as well make shit entertaining for everybody else going around. And then just chilling with the baby. The baby's doing good, healthy, still developing like the smile aspect of it. It's like weird because like a lot of people are like, oh, I want to see her smile. Like babies don't really know how to smile like right out the womb.
No.
So it's like
Yeah. People don't
they sort
understand
of
that.
develop
It's
like how to
usually
work
gas.
their facial muscles and everything. Yeah. Exactly. It's like they're like, oh, well, just do something funny and the baby's smile. Like the baby's still trying to figure out like how everything works and everything.
Yeah.
So I've just been spending like a lot of quality time with her and just watching her like progress and just become like I guess work her way in a toddler phase and stuff,
Yep.
which is sort of nightmarish, but enjoy it while I can and everything, and then just hanging out, chilling. I plan on watching a lot of the Netflix shows and obviously doing some cooking. I mean, Kronos going to be doing a sous vide stuff. I need to get on some cooking stuff with some fresh produce and everything since we're all going to be inside for a good little bit.
Hell yeah. Old Ninja, what you got?
Well, trying to survive our 1 weekend away from martial law state. Gonna try to improve my survival skills. Gotta get these steps in or whatnot. Gonna obviously be doing a lot of gaming and watching shows. I mean, my work is on lockdown, so I won't be able to work until the 7th of April. So I'm just gonna be watching TV, gaming, and trying to sneak in some outdoorsy stuff if I don't get arrested or whatnot. Past curfew, we'll see. But that's pretty much it.
Cronus, did you get yours in?
I got part of it. I mean, basically, it's taking care of, my youngest daughter, trying to get my oldest daughter here, which would be great, but I don't know if it's going to happen because of the whole lockdown thing, and it's just nonsense. Just, taking care of the family and making sure that people that need help, that I know, get help. So, if you know anybody out there that needs help and you have the opportunity to help them, help them. I think that today people have been, at the whole onset of this whole issue, people have been very selfish with buying more than they needed and fucking over people that really needed resources. And I think that us as a society can do better. And if you see somebody that needs help, help them. Special shout out to Buddy Man, who is my other half on Black and Yellow. He's doing a GoFundMe to get masks to people that are elderly. And I think that people that went out and bought all these masks that were healthy people and people that were not at risk, they fucked over people that are elderly that actually need them. And so he has a source to actually buy good masks from a certain resource that at a decent cost. And so he has a GoFundMe to getting together to get those resources people in need. And this whole thing about people like buying all toilet paper, all the paper towels and all the disinfectant and all this shit, it's people just like overbuying it and just like fucking over people that actually need it. And I hope that people learn from this. Like our society, like, it's not we're a great society, but when you have people that vampire off of this society, we're not designed to handle that. Like no society is. they're not designed for a single family to buy, 400 rolls of toilet paper. Like, when you have like, over 1,000 people doing that, and it's fucked up. Like, if everybody would have bought like just what they needed normally, we'd have been fine. But all of a sudden, you have people that are really dumb that are buying up all the resources that people actually need. The people that can't actually get to the store at a certain time, and they get fucked. So I understand that people are like they're worried and they're scared, but if everybody consumes things at a normal rate, America will be just fine. There's nothing to really worry about. As far from that aspect, as far as like the coronavirus goes, yeah, I mean definitely worry about that. Protect yourself. Stay 6 feet away from people at least. Only go outside when you really need to. Only go if you can't order groceries and needed items. Then go to the store, but wash your hands. Stay sanitary. Yeah, like take protective measures. Don't just be kind of throwing it off the cuff and not realizing that you interact with people, that could be at risk. And you don't know if they're at risk. I mean, my girlfriend, if you look at her, she doesn't look like she's at risk, but she's had 3 open heart surgeries in her lifetime. And she has at least 1 more coming up in her lifetime. And she looks like a normal person, all right? As far quote-unquote normal person. And you don't know who you're going to cross that could be susceptible to a disease that you're carrying because you were frivolous with the way that you are living your life. You might think you might live forever, or you think that you're in a category that is not going to probably get sick from this virus, but you can pass on to somebody that can get the virus, and then they could possibly die, and that's fucked up. And so once I realized that, I started receding from basically all the things I want to do. And for me to recede from jiu-jitsu, listen, for me to stop doing jiu-jitsu before everything got locked down, most people don't understand this, but jiu-jitsu to me, like, keeps me, like, on a certain level. Like, that helps me, keeps me sane, like, seriously. And for people to not want to sacrifice, like, even the smallest amount of things, when the thing that helps me stay basically afloat, I gave it up because people I interact with on a daily basis, I could possibly harm them. And for somebody else not to even realize that, people that are healthy and they don't need to do certain things and just be like, oh, fuck it, I'll just do it. Fuck everybody else. You know what? Fuck you. I mean, just suck it up for a couple of weeks, and we need to, like, reduce the transmission of this disease. So please just stay at home if you can.
There you go.
If you're not hard up for work, if you can work from home, work from home. If you do have to go to work, just go to work, come back, and don't do anything else. If you can order your food, order your food. If you can't, I totally get it. But if you can, definitely think about everybody else, not just your fucking self. Don't be fucking selfish.
Speaking of which, I forgot to shit on somebody. A big fuck you goes out to Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh, shit.
For all of her cunty statements. Twitter lit her up already, but for those who don't know, this musty, ashy-ass bitch was saying all kinds of shit about how basically fuck the people who are dying. If you die, you die. What about my Coachella? What about my concerts? Just being a selfish fucking cunt. She's on my shit list just like Kathy Gann. Wait.
Who is she? I don't even. The name is.
She's an actress.
Oh, an actress. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the.
She's from High School Musical. Vanessa Hudgens.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Cronus, you just watched her in Bad Boys 3. She's one of the kids that they kept calling in their little.
Whoa! She's not a kid.
Well, they called her a kid in the film.
Okay.
In comparison to Martin Lawrence.
Don't matter.
Yeah, she's a grown woman. I just don't want anybody confusing that and defending her selfish self. Other than that, just in terms of the stuff I got going on this week, just trying to stay sane here with my own family, but trying to reach out, check on as many people as you possibly can. And then if you still have an internet connection, never forget that Interspecies Reviewers is here for you.
Oh my God.
They got you on payroll? They got you on payroll?
Hey man, it's that good though. I can
It's gonna win.
understand.
It's gonna win. It's gonna win Anime of the Year for 2020. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I seriously
No,
doubt
that-
it.
That's hilarious.
Anyway,
All right, take us on out
All right.
because I can't
You just
hear the music.
You just experienced Black and Black Times.
Infinity.
Infinity.
You can check us out everywhere
Fuck
with
your couch.
BTI. That's BTHANBTI. We're on Radio Republic, Spotify, Player FM, SoundCloud. We're on YouTube is Black and Black Times Infinity, Facebook
Infinity.
Black and Black Times Infinity, and check out our official website, binheadproductions.com/BTI. We're also on Twitch. We're probably going to put out a lot of content this weekend. Twitch.tv/BTI. And then on Amazon, we have the app on there. Go ahead, download. It'll let you know when we go live.
oh
Go try to be the Pirate King.
yeah, sorry. And the Infinity base is actually very close to being done.
Yes.
So,
There you go.
yeah, it's gonna stop right now.
Yeah, the base
because-
is done, but we can't be in it.
Yeah, because the Rona. But yeah, but it's actually really close. So yeah, thanks Blue for coming out and helping me.
Yep.
And with that,
Yep.
we are out this bitch.